everyone. My name is Nekme Obasoge, reporting from Toronto, Canada. We are back again with our daily political analysis on Nebo TV. And today I have a very special guest from the United States, California. Dr. Nosa Obano is with me in the studio today. Hello, Dr. Obano.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us today on the show.
Thank you for your great job in Edo State.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So I know that you are here today to discuss about the upcoming election in Edo State, the 2020 gubernatorial election. Okay, it's just in the corner, few days from the actual election. So what is your take about this upcoming election in Edo State, sir?
Well, the elections, those of us in Diaspora, which is all over the world, Canada, Europe, Australia, usually does not get ourselves involved in politics. And we try not to get ourselves in these election issues.
Mm-hmm.
But this year has become a special year for us to be involved in the politics and election of Edo State. If you remember the adage in Edo, which says, so we've come to that sense that we are not going to sit anywhere on the sideline anymore, but to be involved in improving our state and making our state better so that we can be proud of our state. A state where we have the Oba of Benin, a state where we have an old tradition, a state where that used to be #1 in Nigeria. Come on, we need to stand up and fight for our state.
Okay. Those of us in diaspora, how can our voices affect this upcoming election in Edo State?
Well, our voice have been getting involved in Edo State, even if we cannot vote. We've been very involved through different organizations, through different committees, going about putting signs, calling our relatives, calling our friends, and making sure we go to different agencies that this election become fair and that this election become non-violent and that these people are able to enjoy the democracy that is being touted in Nigeria. So all these are the stuff that those of us in Diaspora are doing. And we take this election very seriously and not very lightly. And we are going to be very involved in anybody that wants to come to Edo State rather than being in their state, doing their work and disorganize Edo States. We are going to be standing up against them, or we are going to be standing up to them.
Okay. Security. People have been complaining about lack of security in the state, especially the governor himself. Okay. How can we change the structure of the state and the violence in the state right now? We saw the Oba calling for a peace, the Oba Palace Peace Accord that took place last week.
Well, the Oba of Benin is the king of Benin. Is the king of Edo State. So he spoke. First of all, he said he does not want godfatherism in the state, if I'm correct. So he has called on Okwioba, he has called on Okwoba. What that means is call on men, is call on women of Edo State to stand up against godfatherism. And the Oba also said he does not want any fight. He doesn't want the state to be made into a political zone. He has also called Okwoba, he has also called Okwoba. What that means, Oba men and Oba women to stand up. So if those in Benin City or those in Edo State cannot stand up, then I think I have an issue with that. Those of us who are in diaspora are going to make sure that we carry on what the Oba said. Okwoba, who are in diaspora, will make sure that the political situation goes smoothly and that there will be no fight. And those who are coming to the state thinking that they own the state rather than being in their state, doing their administrative work as a governor, should go back to their state and perform their governorial duty rather than coming to Edo State to cause chaos. They are going to be held responsible. If they think they're not going to be held responsible, they'll be surprised. They will be very, very, very surprised, because those of us who are here are not going to take this lightly. If you are not from Edo State, you want to come there because you think you are a governor of some state, you're welcome. Election is for the Edo people. Edo people are no longer kids. We are not children for our hands to be held. We are not kids to be one diaper. We are grown-up people to be able to take care of ourselves, to be able to vote for ourselves, to be able to conduct an election. So those who are coming with their little federal might, coming in with their little security, we have news for them. They have laws to face abroad. So we'll take them on just as they come in.
Okay. The news right now that the governor of Imo State, Duma, brought some security operatives with him to Edo State. It's just an alleged. It's an alleged. We are not sure yet. I'm going to pull out some of the pictures that people sent to us. It's an alleged. We are not sure. There's no facts. But I'm going to pull out some pictures right now, so that the audience can see. Okay, this picture right here. Can you see the picture, sir?
Yeah, I can see them. Yeah.
Okay. The truck looks like a military truck, but according to what I was told, they said it's just a state security, like the Ziga in Edo State. But a state security will be riding on a truck that looks like a military truck.
Well, I think Udozima will be up for a shock. The reason I said that is that he should be in a state. Godwin Nogayase Obaseki is the governor of the state, is the chief security of the state, and they should allow him to continue doing his work. If Udozima think he can come to Edo State and intimidate the people, we have a surprise for him here in the United States of America. If he doesn't know the Edo people, he needs to find out. So we will have a surprise waiting for him. After he finished with his acts, we will continue our own acts.
Okay, I have another picture.
So
here.
My saying to him is that he needs to go to his state and manage his own state, and let the Edo people manage the affair of their state.
So how can those of us, with what strategy the Edo citizens in diaspora are trying to use to counter the corruption existing in the state, especially the federal might?
Well, there are a lot of people and committees going out now, putting out programs. There are softwares softwares in computers. There are people putting things together where you could take pictures and send the picture to Facebook. So all those things are being planned and are ongoing for this coming election. And I'm going to be very, very careful what I say, but I'm going to at the same time make it very clear that whoever come to Edo State and think they can cause chaos and then they feel they are governors, my thing to them is to say, hey, we are not going to sit here and just and be quiet. We'll be as well waiting for them in the United States legal department to arrest that issue or to deal with that issue.
Yeah, sometimes they don't take us so seriously in the West because they believe that we cannot impact the elections in Nigeria. We don't have PVCs. We are not eligible to vote. Therefore, they don't take us seriously. They said that some of them who call us noisemakers on social media. That's what they call us. And when you look at Nigerian citizens in diaspora, we are impacting the country. Look at the remittances that we are sending back home. And we are using that to develop the state, to develop the country. But in most cases, during election period that has to do with democracy, they don't take us seriously. They don't treat us seriously because they believe that we can't impact the elections and they can do whatever they want.
Well, they have to understand that we may be abroad. We may not be able to vote in Nigeria, but financially, we contribute significantly to the state. Then in terms of other aspects of the country, we contribute significantly.
Yes.
Those of us who live here, a lot of them have homes in Nigeria. They maintain those homes. A lot of them are building. They employ people to do the building. There are other activities. For example, now the Edo Best that Obaseki is very proud of was a brainchild of one of those who left the United States and went to Edo State to help him develop that Edo Best. So we contribute in all sphere. We contribute in all circumstances. So you cannot undermine us.
Exactly.
And now that they're beginning to turn our state into a dumping ground, those of us are going to stand up and prevent that to happen. The Oba has already said he does not want any fight. He does not want any war. And those who decide, because they are governor of some state, because they are governor when they should be in their state working, when they should be in their state improving, they have to realize that this is Obaseki movement. Whether you like it or not, you either join the movement and use your hand to repair your thing, like Edo said, Obama, Ayadol. This is Obaseki's movement. Obaseki movement with a slogan that says, Obama, Ayadol. So we are going to use our hand to fix our thing. We are going to use our hand to fix our state. We're not going to wait for anybody to fix our state for us. If you call your rag a rag, people will use it as a rag. If you call your rag a gold, people will call it a gold. We are calling our state a gold. And we are employing Governor Obaseki to be the CEO of the state, to handle this gold, to oversee this gold. And then we will in turn support him. And that's what we are saying. Edo State indigents are no kids. Who doesn't man needs to stay home? He needs to go to his state and govern. It's not from Edo State. If he think he can go there and cause chaos, I wish him the best.
Yeah, they have the right. They have the right to support any candidate of their choice. However, what we are protesting for from diaspora is a free and fair election, peaceful election in Edo States. Okay, because we are running a democratic government in Nigeria. They have the right to support any candidate of their choice. However, peace should be maintained in the state. Do not bring security operatives to Edo State. If you want security, there are many police. Federal government is controlling the police. They can provide security for you. You don't bring your security agents to the state. You understand that, sir? What I'm trying to say.
I agree with you.
Yeah, you don't bring
if
that.
you want to support anybody, come support, but don't come in and cause chaos.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this, for every people or any person who comes in to create chaos in that state, those of us who live in the United States and those of us who live in London or who live in the United Kingdom and all over the world, we are going to make it a point of duty to hold that person responsible in the legal arena. We are going to be very, very adamant of that. And I think people who are trying to underestimate the Edo people in the United States, they are going to be very surprised. I think they need to go find out what this group are capable of doing and what this group have done in the past. So this group, they've been able to sue the head of state. And if any person dies because of the activities of these people, I will use the word, I wish them well. Because like they say in the United States, we will see in court.
Okay. Right now, do you have family members back home that can also vote for Governor Obaseki, because we are doing a kind of a grassroots campaign whereby we contact those citizens in diaspora to ensure that they encourage their family members and friends back home to vote in this upcoming election. Have you been doing anything close to that?
We've been doing quite a lot
Yes.
to make sure family members vote. And a lot of us that identify with certain villages, we've been paying a graduate a monthly salary to go from door to door to campaign and to educate them on the issues and to make sure that they get their voters card. So this has been ongoing for the past several months, that a lot of us adopted several villages and we pay a graduate a salary every month.
Yeah.
I personally have 2 villages that I pay for. I have paid 2 people's salary every month for them to go from house to house, educating people on these election issues. So I'm not the only one. There are several other Edo people who are doing that.
Okay. So I know that you have been following the trend since how many months now. Adams Oshomole has been playing a major role, even posing as if he's the candidate of the APC in Edo State. What message do you have for Adams Oshomole today, sir?
First of all, I want to say I feel sorry for Adam Oshomole. He's the least educated person in Edo State, and he's the loudest person in Edo State. In my first interview with Ares, I made a comment there. We want Edo State to move forward. We want Edo State to improve. Bendel State used to be #1 during Ogbemudia's time. Who comes to Nigeria to visit? They come to Bendel State. Yakubu Gowon, it was practically nearly, I will use the word, every month or every other month in Edo State. Opening one thing, celebrating one thing, or commissioning one thing or another. So we were #1 in the state. Why the rest governor at that time, I don't want to use the word asleep, because if you look at some of that states now, they are not developed. Ogbemudia was ahead of his time. He was developing the state at that time. And I could still remember as a child, every meeting, women meeting, men meeting would put money together and donate it to Ogbemudia for development. So I cannot sit here and be quiet and listen and watch a state that somebody like Ogbemudia has put in so much time, that I, as a child, has to line up in the rain, welcoming people who come to commission a building or a university in Edo State. I may not be involved in contributing money, but I was lining up along the road. I was in the rain, entertaining these people who came. That is my contribution at that time as a child. So I'm not going to sit here and allow my contribution to be swept into a dustbin. So, like I said again, those who want to bring their might to Edo State, bring it on. We may not have guns, we may not have knives, but we will see you in court here in the United States.
Yeah. A few days ago, I did a little bit of research of previous elections, especially the governorship elections in Nigeria. Oh my God. It was so scary. Seeing talks, snatching ballot boxes, and some of the talks will wear like army uniforms, police uniforms during election period, posing as a police in polling units, while they will shoot sporadically to the head, snatch ballot boxes, scare workers and voters away, and in most cases, straight bullets will hit innocent voters. Have you seen last year during the general elections what happened? You saw on social media where some Some people were killed during election period due to straight bullets from thugs in the country. So I did the research. It was a very short research about what happened in other states in Nigeria during governorship elections. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. So we are praying against such situation in this upcoming election in Edo State. So what advice do you have for President Buhari, who is the president of the country?
For the president of the country, I wish him well. Like I said before in one of my interviews, I'm one of those who supported him. But I'm very, very disappointed the direction for which the country is going. When he came, he said he was going to make 1 naira to $1. There's $1 to 400 and something naira right now. He said he was going to bring peace to the country. We don't have peace in the country. He said people were going to live comfortably. People are not living comfortably. So my question to the president is, sir, I respect your office, but where are we going? We don't have a strong educational system. We cannot even control COVID. We have a ministry of health, and we have a minister of health who brought and allowed some Chinese people, which he described as bringing tons of equipment to Nigeria to help the COVID. If I say to you now, how many people are infected with COVID, the minister cannot even tell you that. How many people have died from COVID? He cannot even tell you that. I was very involved and instrumental in HIV era in Edo State. I was one of those who helped set up the initial clinic in Edo State for HIV. And I remember bringing colleagues to do lectures, and we were bringing drugs from here to the people. And nobody could even tell us how many people were infected in the state, how many people were treated in the state. And those of us who bring our colleagues who are foreigners, it's an embarrassment to us. It's a shame for you to take your colleague down to your country where they cannot even tell you how many people are infected with a certain disease. Come on. We've been free from Britain since 1960. Do we have to wait for foreigners to hold our hands? Do we have to wait for foreigners to tell us how to eat? We as Black people all over the world, it's about time we stand up and help ourselves. How long are we going to be depending on this and depending on that? It's a shame that a president that we voted for, a president that we were hoping for, cannot even tell us, or cannot even tell us that Nigeria is involved in producing a vaccine or in producing an equipment that will help fight COVID. So where are the universities? Where are the professors? We should stand up at this time. Our professors and our universities should stand up and not waiting to sleep with some little girls who are enthroned or who are entrusted to their care. It's a shame where we are going. He said that people without vision will perish. And we are going to becoming a nation where we don't have vision anymore. If you come to the United States today, 80% of the Black physicians are from Nigeria. People who are operating or doing procedures that has never been done before in this world are Nigerians. People with a breakthrough in medicines, in engineering, are Nigerians.
See?
I live in California here. The kid who controls all the freeway, all the transportation issue in California, which is a huge state, is from Nigeria. So every day I see them. In my 43 years of being in the United States, I wonder what is going on.
Yeah.
Are we cursed because we are Black people?
You know,
Just a simple election in Edo State. People are bringing in military people, calling it security. Stay in your state and improve your state. And I want to say this for those people who think that they can come into the state because they are supporting this and supporting that. They need to join the Godwin Noregase Obaseki movement with a slogan that says, Obama Aya Dolo Emiomayi. Take that to your state. Go and use your Obo and Dolo Emiweyi in your state. Don't be preoccupied with Edo State.
exactly. Exactly. During election periods in Nigeria, they will promise everything that they can remember from their brains. I will do this, I will do that, I will be commander in chief. President Buhari promised to be commander in chief. Commander in chief. Look at the security issues in the country right now. The question is, can the president even comprehend the situation of the country? It's a big question to many Nigerians. If he can comprehend what is going on in the country. Before the rift between Adams Oshiomhole and Governor Obaseki escalated to the point that he was disqualified from APC, the president was not able to make peace between both of them.
One thing I will say is that a president who goes to Edo State to commission a hospital that is empty, a hospital where he says that this is a modern hospital where there's no bed, where there's no equipment in the hospital, and commission it, puts into a lot of question those advising the president. If I commission a place, I think it behooves me to be able to go back and make a follow-up, make sure what I said in public holds. So that puts a question in there on who is advising our president. He's still the president, he's still my president, even if I live here in the United States. But I think it's time, like I said before, that we need to sit up. The myth that Nigeria used to be the giant of Africa is no longer there. If you go to other countries, people are saving jobs. If any industry is closing up, people save it. In a place like Edo State, where this issue has been lingering, I will expect that my president would have been involved a long time ago and prevent one man who is the least educated person in Edo State to continue to carry on this charade of activities, feeling is God sent to the state. So to sit here and beginning to watch this stuff is not only disheartening, it's very sad. For those of us who has to watch all this nonsense day in and day out and hear all this nonsense day in and day out, it's
Sir,
becoming where we just practically are not going to sit down here, stand by the side of the road and allow this to continue in our state. Like I said again, it's a movement now, and I hope the young people can listen to this, and people such as Professor Ayebu or whatever his name was should take note. This is Godwin Obaseki movement, and the movement slogan is Obama Ayadolome Emiomayi. And if I can say that in English, you use your hand to take care of your thing. You don't build a house and allow your house to crumble. You don't buy a car and just sit it there and let people do what they want to do with it. You maintain it. You maintain your house. And those of us from Edo State in diaspora all over the world, we've agreed and we've decided we are going to use our hand to maintain our state. We are going to use whatever means we have to keep our state to become the best in Nigeria. And if people want to join this movement and take this movement to their states, we will help them.
Yeah, when you said one hospital was commissioned in Edo State, I think according to the story of the hospital that was commissioned by the president himself, they brought some equipment from Stella Obasanjo's hospital to commission the main hospital that the president came to Edo State for. You heard about that, sir, during the tenure of...
I was very aware the day they were moving those equipment from Stella Obasanjo Hospital. I was very aware. I got a message from a friend in Edo State telling me that look at what these people are doing. So I did not say anything but just laugh. Me sitting in front of you today, I have sent 2 containers to Edo State. One container was a 40-foot container with equipment worth more than $1 billion. More than $1 billion, I'm going to say this again, that has incubators that are brand new, medical books, hospital beds, gurneys. Where are those equipments? Where's the container? I spent a lot of my time as a medical resident going from one hospital to another, collecting equipment. Even after finishing residency and practicing medicine, hospitals will call me and says they have equipment in the clinic because they need new ones. And I go there, these equipments are brand new, and I spend my money and my time. And my son was just a little boy then. We will both go and pick all this equipment. These were shipped to Edo State. Till today, they cannot account who collected that equipment and what happened to that container. And to give you another example, was it 2006? I took medications from here that was donated to me to Edo State. When I got there, nobody wanted to unload the truck. I had to take my shirt and my shoes off to unload the truck. While people were sitting in the office watching me unloading a truck that I brought from Lagos. So I can sit here and talk and talk and talk and talk. But we have decided, those of us now, at our age, it is not building a house in Benin anymore. It is not. We want to plant a tree in Edo State so that that tree, we will water it with Godwin Obaseki, and that tree will blossom. It will grow. That when we are gone, those people who look at that tree and will say, these are sons and daughters of Edo State who planted this tree.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So before we end the show today, if you have anything to say with regards to this upcoming election to those citizens worldwide, go ahead and say it before we end the show, sir.
I will encourage every Edo person to vote. I will encourage them to use their telephone to snap and send, which is something that's in place. And 2, I will let them understand that no person in Edo State will ever make a statement to say that when I throw corn on the ground, the Edo people will run after me. It's an insult that Oshomole has put on all Edo men and women. I have lived in Edo State. I was born in Edo State. I live in the United States. I've never met Oshomole. I've never eaten from Oshomole. So to make a statement that I will throw corn on the ground and the people will follow us is an insult. And the Edo people will not, and I'm going to use the word again, the Edo people will not tolerate that kind of statement from anybody.
Yeah.
All Edo men, we are very proud people. I know the younger generation does not work as hard as the older generation, because I remember my dad then working in AT&P, leaving home at 6 o'clock in the morning to make sure he gets to work at 7. The younger generation doesn't really look at that anymore. But Edo men have always been proud men. They've always worked. They've always invested. They've always want to see their state move forward. So my advice to them is that we're going to vote. We're going to move our state. If you look at Nigeria today, we are the first state to own to be owning a refinery. We are the first state now to be owning a power plant. We are the first state now that is going to be having
Independent
industrial place. So we are back to Gubernatorial's time again. And those of us who are here are celebrating. And we want this celebration to last. And like I said before, it's a tree that we are going to help Gubernatorial Obaseki waters, so that when we are gone from this earth, the young people will look at those trees and say, yes, these people did plant a tree. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to be on your show, and to commend you for your work you've done. You are a proud daughter of Edo State.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's an honor to bring you to the show today, sir.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, sir. Thanks. So, guys, thank you all for watching. Thanks for the comment. And we'll come back again later to discuss more about Edo State politics. Thank you, Dr. Obano. And we hope to see you next time on Nebo TV, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.